Hi, this is Joy with Obsessed with Scrapbooking, and today we're going to learn how to make this funky tree. This is the tree that is on the new Close to My Heart catalog. So today we're going to show how to make the tree, and tomorrow we're going to embellish it and put all the sparkly things on it and whatnot. But let's get started.
Hi, here is the tree we are going to be focusing in on, and here's the cut I used from the Close to My Heart Artiste Cricut cartridge. You'll notice for each rosette, so each layer of the tree, you need to cut those twice. Some of the layers are the same size, so I have a picture coming up shortly that shows you all the sizes I cut and what papers I use too. Now, to get started, you need to score. Once you've cut out your pieces, you need to go ahead and score along the little lines that the Cricut cuts out with. And I'm using my score pal here. I have to tell you, it was very cumbersome because there's 22 pieces of paper because there's 11 layers and each one has 2. So give yourself some time. I would not put that in a class if I were you because it will take forever. All right, now I begin folding the rosette pieces after I've scored them. And notice I start with a mountain fold, so down. I do that on both sections. So just take a little look. And then I'm going to go ahead and use hot glue gun to glue these sections together. And when I do that, I'm going to glue the faces together. So that green face to the green face, just like that. Nothing overlapping, just straight on. Green face to green face. All right, now be careful with the hot glue gun because as you can see there are holes, and one hole is on one section higher up and one is on a lower section, and the glue likes to seep in there and give you a little burn, so it makes it an element of excitement for this part of the project. Yes, I did get burned, so be careful, be careful. So we're going to go ahead and we get the whole thing glued together with the hot glue gun. And I'm very careful to make sure that the section I want to, the section with the holes on it is facing down because I'm going to squishy all this together and then you push it down and there's your rosette, so you can see your holes are to the bottom when you first start this. So I'll show you a couple more times. So you kind of squish it all together and flatten it. And if you do it enough, see, it gets really easy to do. So it's not too bad. Now I have a large circle there that I cut out. Also using the Artiste cartridge, which you could cut that using, I mean, there's practically a circle on every cartridge, or you could use a punch, whichever. The key with this is you really want the hot glue gun. Do not try anything else. Please don't. I have. It's so awful. It doesn't work at all. It just doesn't. So save yourself the headache. And you always want to circle on the top and the bottom, because then it's more secure. So that is going to be the base of our tree. It's a nice big section. It is 2.5. I cut it at 2.5, so it's really 5 inches wide. And I'll show you one more time, making these rosettes one more time, just in case, you know, I don't know if you guys have made a lot of rosettes. If you have, you might want to fast forward. That's all good too. They can sometimes give you trouble, but if you cut them with a Cricut and you go ahead and score, I mean, you know, you can throw these together fairly quickly. The part that takes time is the cutting and the scoring. Actual assembly, not so much. Again, I'm going to put the glue on the face of this piece, and then I glue to the other face. Now, I ended up doing this 11 times because it's 11 layers high. Now, you could probably choose to make the tree any height you wanted, but to do it as the front of the book looks like, it is 11 layers. So I go ahead and I glue it into a big circle, again face to face, and then I'm going to set it on the desk, remember, with those holes facing down, right? And then I squishy it together and flatten. It happens just that suddenly too, and be sure to keep holding it and then with the other handful with the glue gun, because you want to get it moved over there quick and then hold it still. But boy, it'll stay that way. It stays together with glue gun. So moving on, let's do this like 9 more times. And then you're set to assemble it. So see, it's really not hard once you get the hang of it. Now, coming up, here are the sizes I used and the color papers I used. Remember, the paper is double-sided, so you can choose whichever side you wanted. I tried to make it look like the picture, but you could choose either side. And so you see some of the sizes I used multiples of, like I used 3 1 3/4 inch ones. Now I've consulted the front of my catalog, and I'm going to figure out how to glue all the sections together. And I just go ahead, I use my hot glue gun, and I just stick that all together as best as I can. And you know, it's pretty solid. I was kind of surprised, but these rosettes end up being fairly solid. Once you've glued them together like that, and it's cardstock weight paper, it goes together pretty well. So don't have any fear about that. They are fairly solid. The other thing too is at the end, I have a picture of mine, and I need to kind of fool with it because one section looks like there's a big hole. It's kind of like the real Christmas tree. Have you ever noticed, you know, there's always those little spots where you're like, ooh, I better fill in there. And it's a little bit like that. So you can kind of maneuver it here. You'll see in a second where I start kind of pushing on it and, you know, shifting it and pulling the different papers. See, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you're listing to one side. Oops, you know, so you might have to fool with it. So as you can see here. And then you can also see where I glue the rosettes together. All right, here are the supplies I used. I appreciate you guys watching, and tune in tomorrow to see the tree decorated. Have a wonderful day. Take care.